Hey guys and gals, this is Nathan. Welcome back to another episode of Comic Coloring Tips and Tricks. This is episode 28. It's hard to believe it's been such a long time since I did a tips and tricks video, so let's see how this goes. Today we're going to be working on coloring chrome and I guess reflective metallic surfaces. So let's see, I've got a blank canvas and set up a horizon. There's a shadow and right now it's a circle, but let's turn it into a sphere. Just gonna go to, let me see, a soft brush, and you can just pick this from your basic Photoshop brushes. I just already have mine set up with the flow and opacity that I like, but you can use whatever you're comfortable with. So let's say we have this metal sphere. Let's go ahead and render it out like we would. You know, of course, we have it darker on the bottom, lighter over here. You know, let's give it a little specular highlight like that. So we can see the light source is coming from this direction onto it. It's probably like from the front of the object, but let me see. Let's move it more over so it jives with the shadow. I get that specular highlight in there. Switch to black. I'll add the shadow on the other side, and then we'll get a nice little bit, a little reflective light on it as well. So this is how we would do it, you know, just like a regular sphere. You know, say it's like, you know, little kid's ball or something like that. But let's go ahead and push it further. And a lot for metals, if you look, you know what, let's go ahead and take a look. I pulled up some references from painters that I really like their work, the chrome work. It's by Julie Bell, of course, Colossus. So let's take a look and see about what we can take from it, you know, from her pieces when we find out about chrome. You know, so looks like there's always going to be, let me get a new layer here, and this one's going to stick out. Let's get a green color, a little bright green. So we can illustrate this. You can see there's like a hard edge rim light. And you can see it here as well. Look over here. And down in the legs right here. Here. So it's not nice and soft, you know, hard edges. You can see here as well. And it seems like there's like the white right here, you know, or here, you know, the light part likes to butt up against like dark. So you have like a really big contrast. And another thing to remember is that the chrome is very highly reflective. So we'll see, you know, here where it's reflecting, you know, from the belt, or here it's like reflecting from the sky, you know, over here as well. This is all reflection, you know, just the atmosphere is like leading into the chrome, and you know that's going to be reflective off of it. So you can see that on that one. Let me clear out that layer. I kind of see it in the Silver Surfer as well. You know, we got this red out in space, and you know we got it here in the ankle. You know, here in the abdomen. Little lighter versions of it over here. You know, kind of reflecting this bit. And this nice little greenish color, you know, kind of feeding off of here. You know, again, more reflections. So you kind of see, you know, the atmosphere is going to be reflected into the metal. And This is by Soriyama, amazing artist, really known for doing chrome women. Some of the stuff is a little adult, it gets a little fetishy, but if you just look at just the chrome stuff, there's a lot to learn from it. And again, we have the dark core shadows here, and then the light kind of up against it. Here as well, even like in the gold, you got like a dark core shadow, and then the white, and then another kind of core shadow here, and then like a little reflective light. In this case, it's going to be white, so we're seeing it here. This is all reflected from the atmosphere. So if the atmosphere is going to be red, chances are you see like these highlights here would all be, reddish color as well. Same thing for this piece. We get a little bit of this here flesh tone color, because this part here is facing the skin. So we're going to get a little bit of that stuff in there. And down here as well, probably just to help balance it out a little bit more interesting. I'm not really sure what the rest of this image is, but it's quite possibly, there's more skin down here that's reflecting off of there, but not going to get into that. I'm trying to keep it PG on this channel. Let's see. So let's go back and let's add some colors to this. Let's see if we have a nice blue sky. Probably not that blue. Let me lighten it up a little bit. A little bit more. Yeah, that looks good. Let's see the ground. Let's make it a sand, desert, whatever. Let me lighten that up just a tad. Let's see, the ball, this is going to be metal, so let's do it just a regular gray, and then the shadow, of course, is going to be influenced by the atmosphere as well. Get comfortable in my chair here. So let's see, first of all, we have like this gray, it's all the way desaturated, so there's not really any, let me pick this, there's not any color in it, it's just all gray. I think it's like exactly like 50%. But it's going to reflect the color of the sky, so what we can do, let's hit B, we'll go ahead and add some cyan, a little bit of blue, oops. So something like that. Or another way we can do that, we can go ahead and just color pick that with our eyedropper. That's the I just hit the I key. Sorry, I'm having trouble talking today. Just click on that, and what we can do is just do a fill on that. It's going to be, and then we can do, I believe it's Command Shift. No, there we go. I'm messing this up. Hold on. So I did my fill. Yes, fill it. And then, I've been having trouble with my shortcuts since I upgraded. Most of it's worked out, but I still have some issues here and there. Let's go ahead and just do a new layer. Alright, and we'll make a selection of that, and we'll fill it. And we'll drop that down to 50%. And there we have like our blue introduced. What I was trying to do is fill it, and then you can go like to fade back. It's up here. It's one of the things I like about the new OS. You guys can see my Photoshop menu up here. But if you go, where is it at? This one, it was edit. Oh, fade. Yeah, so it's Shift, Control, or Command on a Mac, F. And then you could, fade it back 50% or whatever, instead of having to do like a new layer and then do that. So I'll just merge those two down and, be happy about it. I'm just going to darken it up because this is going to be our chrome base. I'm just going to do levels on it and just be quick. Okay, not that much. Having issues too if I just kind of click and move it. It's like it's thinking I'm still holding down on it for some reason. I don't know. Alright, so we got that. Alright, now let's go ahead and introduce, this is our blue sky. It's going to be reflected in this, right? Oops, let me get to 30% on that. So I'm going to go like that to it. And then be a light source, up here. Then let's go with our black or a darker shade, what have you. I can just go darker blue. This will be like our core shadow that we were talking about earlier. And then because it's metal, we're going to be reflecting this ground. We can also kind of what we saw, oops, where did it go? Before, we were seeing like these lighter colors and stuff up against the core shadow. This will kind of what this is showing off is kind of like the horizon. So we can put that in there. But just a quick sketch to kind of illustrate. And of course, we'll also have a little of this blue introduced to the shadow as well. That's going to be influenced by the atmosphere as well. But it's just very basic, but let's go ahead and actually apply it to some coloring. So I have Colossus here. And one other thing, because I'm going to be using the dodge tool, and I really don't recommend it for beginners. That's why this isn't the Comic Coloring 101. This is done on the tips and tricks. A little bit more advanced technique. And it's really tough to get used to the dodge tool. Let me do new layer. Fill that with white. And let me show you why. I think most of my colors that I have here are going to work fine. But let me see if I can find some that aren't. And these just look like random colors, but they'll have a purpose. And there's not a real rule of thumb when using it, the dodge tool, that works better. It's just kind of, you have to figure it out, see what works and what doesn't. So I have my dodge tool, and it's going to be down here with the burn and the sponge. The burn and the sponge I never use. Especially for shading, like you don't need these for shading. It's just it'll just be a bad day, especially that burn tool. But the dodge tool, I do use exceptions, and a lot of that is with when I'm doing like chrome or metal. But you really have to be careful of what you're doing with it. Make sure your range is on highlights. So if it's on midtones, it's not. It's just adding white to it, and that just looks drab and boring. So with it on highlights, I keep it at 100 and my airbrush checked. So I get my pressure sensitivity, and I don't protect the tones. Because with the tones, again, it's just you're just keeping in that range. Where if I'm not doing that, then I get see now here it's just that orange, and that's it. I go like this, like just even like one, I get orange going into yellow, and it just looks a lot more interesting. Now, what I'm saying, like, you have to be careful with this. It's very easy to get into illegal colors, especially if you're doing print. type of stuff. You know, this could be, you know, really nice for doing gold and stuff like that, but what you don't see, I'll show you in a second, especially on this guy right here. And this guy right here. What you're getting, the way this is going to print, you're going to end up with a lot of green in here. This yellow might look okay now. It's going to print really, really green. Same thing like here. Might be kind of hard to tell on the monitor. I'm not really sure, or in the video, but there's like a line that goes around right here. Let me turn that off, see if you can see it. It's right here, and it'll print really nasty. If you could, let me turn on my CMYK preview by hitting Command Y. I could do Control Y on a PC, and you can really tell. Like, see, like how much of this or this. Look how nasty that color is. You know, you go from. Oops, let me turn that off again. You know, here it doesn't look too shabby. You get like these nice pinks in here, and then you go like that, and then it's all like grayed out. It's really easy to get really nasty with the colors with the dodge tool real fast. So you're getting like these nice blues, and then you turn that on, and then it's gross. So you really want to watch out and practice with it. I mean, so there's some. There goes the AC. I'm trying to explain it. I guess like a good rule of thumb would be, I mean, like if you have a color that has like more red and yellow in it, it'll dodge better. But I mean, as you can see, this has plenty of red and yellow in it, but then it doesn't necessarily dodge as well as say like, you know, a color like this, or you know, whatever. And so there's not. You just have to take different colors and practice a lot to really get used to it. That's why it's so tricky. I don't recommend it for beginners, and you know, I really don't like to see beginners, you know, see it from tutorials like, oh yeah, I use the dodge and the burn tool to do all my rendering. You're not going to get good results. So yeah, you have to practice with it a lot. But that said, I know this color that I have on Colossus' metal will dodge really nicely. But I'm going to go ahead and select. Actually, I have it broken up into flats here, so I'm going to go ahead and select this first. I'm going to put that on a new layer so I can go under the hand and everything like that. So let's go ahead. Let me see. Anti-alias. Some rendering. You don't have to, but I like to do it. To me, it just looks a little bit cleaner. So, you know, putting more pressure down, like where the highlight's going to be. You know, and just kind of fade it off. You know, kind of judging by Julie Bell's Colossus, we can see, you know, she has the lightest part is up against the what would be the ink lines here. Let's go ahead and stick with that. Right. So, you know, like the more I push down, I get like a little bit more white. But what's really awesome is like I get like this nice little subtle blue in there as well. So that'll be reflective. Let's see if I can get a little bit more. A little more here. Okay, that looks alright. So this will all be in shadow. I'm not going to do the whole thing. It'll just take too long. I'm going to show you like on his arm here the different things we got going on. Alright, so we got that. Get a little bit bigger brush. Do this one, and then probably all the rest of this will just be reflective of the atmosphere. I think that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and see how this looks. We do it along this side as well. Nah, I don't like it. Okay, so let's get this other side. That's simple enough. I think that looks good so far. And let's see. Next, let's go ahead and get into some other flesh. I just painted this real quick with my sponge brush I always use a lot. So let's pick these background bits right here. And how should we approach it? Let's get a new layer so we can kind of adjust it if we're not too thrilled about it. Let's go back, look at Julie Bell's. So she'll have the shadow and then it gets lighter. So you know, don't be afraid to pull up reference, you know, it works wonders. Helps you get a you know, more realistic look and with your stuff. Alright, so something like that, and then we'll get like the lighter color. Yeah. Let's see if we dodge that a little bit. Kind of punch it up some. I think that looks pretty good. Alright, I'm just gonna color pick that. We'll also kind of do it up here on the top part, because again, it's going to be reflecting this other bit here. Oops. Not really worried about this part down here. I'm just gonna, I'll clean that up in a little bit. Just try to keep the video from getting too long. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see. Here. I guess here should probably be a little bit of red. About that. Because again, it's going to be reflecting off of that, right? Maybe here. Yeah, it looks alright. Let me get my environment reflection colors back. Yeah, at this point, just kind of going through real quick. I'll probably go, you know, a little bit better selections, of course, and then be a little bit better on the, right now, just kind of airbrushing the lighter bits in. But, yeah, I mean, I'd probably go through and just kind of do selections for those as well. But try not to get too long in the time. So So I think we're looking pretty good. I mean, what do you guys think so far? Not like I could really hear you, but thanks to those that answered. Let me get a drink real quick. All right, so now we have our chrome color and our reflections off of it. Let's go ahead. What we'll do for this is why we put this on a separate layer. I'll take the chrome bits and let me duplicate that. So I'll just hit Apple J with no selection go, and that'll put whatever's on that layer that I'm selected on. I'll put on a new one. So on a PC, just Control J. I'll put on a new layer, and let me turn everything else off so you can see what's going on with my color layer here. So this is what I have right here, right? This is my rendering. I'm going to go to my hue saturation. So you go to image, image adjustments, hue sat. You can see it's on a Mac, it's Command U. On a PC, it'll be Control U. Just do that, and we'll just bring it, desaturate it all the way down. Take all the color out of it. And we're going to go up to filter. Where's that at? It's sketch. Yeah, sketch and then chrome. That's what we're going to get. Now, I always have my detail all the way down, my smoothness all the way up. Alright. So let's do that. We're getting this weird kind of look. What I'm going to do now, this is the levels palette, so it'll be Command L on a Mac, Control L on a PC. And we're going to make this just black and white. So click on this little eyedropper here and just pick on the dark gray. And then you kind of bump up the white just a little bit. It doesn't have to be much. So this is what we're going to get right here. So just, we want a little bit of gray, but we want, more like black and white in it. Now, let's go to our adjustments. Let's set this to screen. But let's go ahead and turn the rest of this on. See that? I think that's all I needed. So now you can see what that did. So it's introducing all these little crazy type reflections into it, which I really dig on. You could go through and paint all these little things in yourself, but that's going to take some time. And we're all about working fast and efficient here on my channel. So I'm going to knock that down to 50%. I don't want it to be too overwhelming, too in your face or anything like that. So now we can go ahead and add back in, or turn on our layer again with the reflections, the environmental reflections. So it's looking pretty hot right now. I'm kind of really digging that. Let's see what happens if we darken. So we're just kind of running levels on our original render that we made a copy of before. I just kind of want to see what happens, if I darken up that up a little bit. I don't want to get too crazy dark, but I'm kind of, like I said, I don't want to get too crazy dark, but the computer wants to, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of digging that. I think that's good. Those highlights really pop off a bit better. What happens if I take this, let's see, screen? Nah. Overlay. No. Alright, we'll leave it like that. Now, on top of that, I guess we can just merge those three together with all of our rendering. And we'll do a new layer on top. Well, we don't have to, but let's get a hard brush. And again, this is just another basic Photoshop brush that comes with it. I just have it up there. It's a lot simpler for me to grab it. And I'm just going to go in and draw in these lines. Just kind of adding these highlights on here. It's a little time consuming. It'll be worth it. And it's kind of adding an edge again to the metal, these metal bits. Of course, when we're doing this, we'll just kind of keep in mind where our light source is coming from. So I'm doing this like the light, coming from above. So I'm catching the top edges of the metal. Just kind of keep it consistent throughout the rest of the piece. Let's see. Let me rotate that. So if you're working on later versions of Photoshop, I think it started in CS5. The rotate, just hit your R button. Just kind of drag your canvas, where you want it. Something that's been in Painter forever, and I always wanted them to get it into Photoshop, and they finally managed to. So almost done, almost done. I forgot to mention this piece is by Robert Atkins. He's doing some amazing stuff over at IDW on the G.I. Joe books for them. I haven't really checked out his stuff in a while, so I'm not really sure what he's up to nowadays, but this is one of his sketch of the days. There's a lot of really cool stuff. We'll put his link in the description, of course, so you can check it out. Rotate that back. All right. So you can see, just having those little lines add a bit of dimension to it as well. Let's see if we just did that on overlay. Does that make a difference at all? Nah, I guess not because it's white. Well, a little bit if you look in the red right here. That's kind of cool. It's more pink than white. Yeah, I think, let's go ahead and leave that on overlay. That's why I like to do things on separate layers so you have a room to play around with it. I'm going to put a new layer on top of everything. Let's set it to lighten. When I say everything, just like my working layers I'm working on right now. Not like all this other stuff I have turned off. And let's get a soft airbrush again. I'm just going to pick this is like a nice blue color. Let me see how that looks. It might be too blue. Yeah, that's too blue. Maybe with a periwinkle. Not dark enough. Let's go that a little bit more. Yeah, I think that looks good. I'm just gonna hit up some areas here or there, where they might catch the light a little bit more. And that's on light, and so it's gonna lighten the, just little touches here and there. It's gonna lighten up the black line art. Again, it's gonna help sell the reflectivity of the chrome. this metal. You know, just kind of hit spots here and there. We can even go in with like a little bit of white, you know, in certain areas, like these tips here. You get like a little white. It's gonna really pop out some of these areas. You know, it's like when if you watch a car, you wait for a light, and you see like that that sun, you know, just hitting the chrome off of a car in front of you. You know, it's like these bright white spots on it. That's kind of what we're going for. Let's see. Maybe just a little bit like that, just kind of really pops it out. But yeah, I guess that's going to be it for the Chrome tutorial. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, sorry it's been so long for more actual tutorial stuff. It's been kind of crazy here at work and getting ready to start on the next chapter of Template. But hopefully I should have some more stuff for you next week. If you like what you see, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I appreciate it. And coming up, I think we're going to do like the Q&A once we hit 5,000 subscribers. We're getting there pretty close. I think maybe like in another month and a half. I'll do a Q&A special answering a bunch of the questions that I can't really get to, you know, when I'm trying to do the tutorials. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. All right, bye.